Chapter 1, Part 2, second paragraph. So when I was in the mental hospital when I was 11, they counted me as, they labeled me as schizophrenia bipolar. Now, schizophrenia bipolar just means you have the bipolar part, but you also have the schizophrenia part as well, hearing voices. And what we're going to talk about today is hearing voices. Now, I think that we kind of tell people that when you hear voicing, that it's a bad thing. That they ask you, does it tell you to do bad things? And if it does tell you to do really bad things, then get the help immediately and get rid of it. But for me, it helps me out. It actually helps me out more than it hurts me. Like, helps me get through the day every day. It helps me problem solve. It helps me figure out things, remember things. It helps me just do normal tasks at work. And I think when we think about when we think about this self-talk and hearing voicing, is that I had a lot of people tell me I hear voices, and I have a lot of people say it's just self-talk, and I think I do hear voices, and I think getting the help you need and telling a health provider or a medical or mental health provider everything, a nurse, a doctor, a psychologist, anything that you can think of that they need to know about the voice. Now, if the voice isn't hurting you at all, I say, don't worry about it. Then have them guide you to get medicine in your system that can kind of get the voice away a little bit, but not totally. I was on medicine when I was 20 years old, and it got the first time when I stopped Risperidone completely. And they put me on another drug to put me so it doesn't make me tired as much. But it also took away the voice completely. And my self-talk completely. And I couldn't live like that. It was so hard because I didn't have the voice that tells me how to problem solve, how to do things and stuff. And unless it hurts you, hurting others or hurting yourself, like in physical harm or others, then yes, get rid of it completely and get your help you need. But if it helps you, like helps me problem solve through the day, then just let it be there. And I think when I was 11 and they told me I couldn't leave the hospital because they're going to send me to Rogers, and they're going to force me to go to Rogers, and they're going to do a thought disorder unit there because they deal with more thought disorders. I think they were spot on. I think I do have bipolar schizophrenia, and I think you can have an autism component with bipolar. You can have autism bipolar. You can have autism OCD. You can have autism a lot of things, but I think autism OCD and autism bipolar and autism schizophrenia part all come together and all kind of are all there. But the two disorders I really think I have is bipolar schizophrenia, OCD, and autism are the three disorders I think I have. And I think we're all coming down to what we really think that is and how that affects stuff. But please know this is not 100% telling you how to do something or how to do anything. This is just telling you, if you have a voice, don't always try getting rid of it. Maybe use it what it was meant to do. What is it actually helping you with? If it's helping you, or is it destroying you? If it's destroying you, get help immediately. Get rid of it. If it's helping you a lot more than it's destroying you, then yeah, keep it and let it help you and get rid of the medicine. Can kind of take away the destroying part. But yeah, this is the end of chapter 2, chapter 1, second part, second paragraph. Chapter 1, second part, third paragraph. and second subject. So we think about what is mental health. Now, I could go on and on about this for a long time, and it's just going to be told in about 13 different ways, maybe 20 different ways in this book. But what I think mental health is just something that's not totally right with your feelings, your emotions, your senses, your body, your how you're doing in the day, what you're doing differently, how it affects you, your brain, your thoughts. Like I said, you know, do you hear voices? Do you not hear voices? Do you have mood swings? Do you not have mood swings? Do you have do you not, take showers and stuff like that? Do you not do you clean so much that you don't know that you're doing it? Do you have tics all day? Do you have really obsessive thoughts? Do you have anger problems? Do you have alcohol or gambling or anything like that? Well, these are all, except for the gambling and alcohol, these are all big problems. Not big problems. These are all problems that can be solved easily through counseling, through therapy, through psychologists, through medicine, through anything you can think of. And I think what we need to understand is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with what I just said, or there's nothing wrong with having a mental disorder or going to therapy. There's nothing wrong with getting help. It's actually the exact opposite. If you want to tell your friend, or if you want to tell your coworker, if you want to tell your neighbor or your sister, or your brother, or your mom and dad, or your family member, or your cousin, or anyone in your family, if you want to tell your youth counselor or anyone in your life about your mental health problems and get it out that way, that's the same thing as therapy. You don't have to go to an actual therapist to get your feelings out. Now, if you don't feel like going to a therapist, but you want to get your stuff out, you can go to your friend or anyone in your life that you feel comfortable sharing it with. Now, I'm not always going to say that person's going to keep it to themselves, but I think if you trust them a lot, but the more you get it out and the more you get out to people and the more they help you in this situation, the more they can be there for you. And I think we always think, oh, you have to go to a therapist, you have to go to a psychologist to get help. No, I use a dietitian right now as therapy, and she's amazing. She's so amazing that I asked her, said, can we do 1 day therapy and 1 day being a dietitian and working on my eating disorder and 1 day therapy? And she said, as long as it's helping you, I don't care what we do. And I said, that's awesome. I thought there was a law against that dietitians can't be therapists. But I'm like, why can't you go to my friend and tell him everything? So I asked the company first, and they said there's nothing wrong with that. So there isn't I have some dietitians that say I'm not a therapist, I'm a dietitian, and then I have the new dietitian or the second dietitian I have through this online program. She's amazing too, and she's helped me out with not really doing dietitian stuff. She's helping me with more therapy too. I also have amazing therapists, an amazing psychologist, once you have trust with your people, you can trust them a lot and you can go through with them so much in life. But if you trust a friend more than a therapist, anyone can basically be a therapist. All you need to do is be a good listener and try to give your best advice to your person if they're asking for it, or just be there for them and just listen. But yeah, if you see someone struggling in life, go up to them and see if you can be their shoulder and show them you can be trustworthy with that information. The more they trust you, the more they're going to let loose on you, and the more they will get help. The more you throw it down in your body, the more you push it down with feelings and thoughts and bad things, you're gonna blow up one day, and that's not good. And we need you to be honest with the world and try to get help. Help doesn't need to be a therapist or a psychologist, like I said. Give me anyone you trust. Give me a homeless guy if you trust that more than you trust your family. So family's not always a good thing to tell, but it's also not good. It's not always you think it's good to tell a therapist. So tell someone you trust, anyone, and if you really trust them, I think you should give it a shot. There's nothing to lose except for them telling you story, but it's all right. Now you know for next time. Okay, so this is chapter 1, third paragraph, third subject. What is mental health? Chapter 1, second part, third subject, third paragraph. Now here's the end of the what is mental health thing for now. We'll go into it more when we get into the mental health stuff in my life. But the last thing I want to put on this thing is, again, what is mental health? Now, I've been talking about it a lot in the last 2 big paragraphs, but mental health to me just means you need help, just like physical health. We go to a brain doctor to get brain stuff done. We go to a dietitian to get, better diets. We go to a cancer doctor to help with cancer, but a lot of us are too scared to go to like a therapist sometimes. So that's why I said, go to whoever you trust in life to tell your secrets or tell your stuff. But it's not just therapists that we're scared to go to. We're scared to go to mental hospitals too. But it's because mental hospitals scare us on film. I have a friend named Zach, and he thinks that mental hospitals are the worst things in the world, and that they are scary, and that they only do bad things to you. Wrong. They actually help you in so many ways. I've been to now, I think 3 of them now, and they mostly help you. So when you can't take the world anymore, you need help and you need answers and you don't know how to get them, you can go to Rogers and get admitted yourself. Most mental hospitals that you can get admitted yourself without a doctor or without a notice, so as long as you meet their criteria, so they can help more people out. But yeah, I think the film always rates on these mental health decisions and makes it look like a mental hospital's for zombies or bad people. But no, there's a difference between asylums and mental hospitals. Asylums are people that are forced to get the help. Mental hospitals are people that have the choice to get the help most of the time. Now, we also try to decide when is it good to go to mental hospitals. Not. I have doctors that don't believe mental hospitals at all, and I have other doctors that try to use them to get more research or get more help and stuff. So yeah, we all decide what is. So if you really think you need more help than just a psychologist or a therapist outside clinics and just get the help you need, or you feel like group therapy or therapy, some therapies don't work. There's also online therapy. There's online psychologists. There's where you can go into Zoom. All you have to do is do one appointment, I believe. And there's a lot of therapies out there that you don't have to do the first appointment in. You can do it all on Zoom on your time. But mental hospitals are there for So when you think you just need a pause from the world, or you just need to hear other people's stories, or you need just therapy more than just 1 hour a week, and you need someone to watch over you and stuff, or you just need more help, and your doctors don't have the answer, go to one, and they'll help you so much. They'll help you so much, and they're paused from the world. You hear from you hear from hundreds of people that they feel the same. They feel the same way as you. You get to know people. You get to meet people like you. You get to realize that there's a lot of people feeling the same way, exactly the same way as you, and nothing else. So, yeah, don't take mental hospitals as what it's on film. Like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is kind of, there's a history in mental hospital. There's a lot of mental hospital films out there that are good, but the horror ones are basically just scaring you what they actually do in a mental hospital. They don't do anything bad. They just give you medicine, and they help you see the light out through the tunnel. So, yeah. There's two more subjects in this first chapter, and then I go into the second chapter because the first chapter is already getting kind of long. Okay, have a great. Three reviews today, or two reviews today, three actually, and then I'm writing a book. You see some blocked YouTube stuff on my YouTube channel. I'm writing a book. I'm putting all the YouTube content into a website that's gonna turn into text, and we're gonna go from there. And when the book is finished, I'll share the copy to everyone. Okay, have a great day. So, what is the word high? Now, we think about the word high as saying hi and hi. We say hi a lot, and we say hi to greet someone, or someone's high in drugs, or we say hi is because we have highs or lows in bipolar. Now we think about bipolar as just a mood disorder where you have highs and lows. You get happy, you get sad, you get angry, you change moods all the time. But see, I always thought that was what bipolar was. I was taught bipolar from a new therapist is that bipolar can be a mood disorder, but also can be more like mania. If you have mania symptoms, or you have trouble sleeping, or you have manic symptoms anytime, or you have hearing voices, or you see things that are not there, but you do it but you also have a mood technique to it. That is also bipolar. Bipolar schizophrenia. So I have bipolar schizophrenia. So what that means for me is that I have a mood thing, but they also think I hear voices, and they also think I'm also sad, happy, sometimes angry, sometimes I have mania symptoms and stuff. They say if you have mania symptoms, you're supposed to go to the ER and get help. You don't exactly have to do that. I just would tell someone, when you know you're in that mode, how to tell if you're in that mode if you can't tell someone, and get help. But yeah, I guess what I'm just trying to say is that we think a disorder is one thing, but actually it's a ton of things. We think we just get diagnosed with a disorder for the main cause of what the disorder is when we look it up, but it's actually more It's actually more different than that. They use it for just one thing out of the disorder and call you that disorder, or they use it one thing or the next, or they use it for everything, or they use it uniquely for that disorder to say, well, you kind of have the same reasons why people are diagnosed with this, so we're going to diagnose with you with that. So
doctors can also misdiagnose.
So don't think when you're diagnosed with a disorder, that you don't understand why. Ask your doctor why people get diagnosed with this. Ask your doctor what it is or how it is, and then you'll be able to get help, and you'll be able to understand why you're diagnosed with it and how you can help yourself with it, searching the right way on the internet, or searching the right stuff, or reading the right books, or getting the right help you need, instead of just always just trying to overthink it, or trying to think about ways and overthinking it and stuff. Okay, this is chapter 1, third part, chapter 1, third part, first paragraph, and first subject. First chapter, third part, first paragraph, second paragraph. So we went on about disorders last time, and now we're going to go on to what do we use what is considered a person in the medical field? What do we use them for? Because do we just use a brain doctor for brain stuff? Do we just use a brain surgeon for brain surgery? Do we use cancer doctors for just cancer? Do we use dietitians just for dietitians? Do we use therapists for therapists? Do we use psychologists just for psychologists? Do we use primary doctors just for primary stuff? Do we use heart doctors for heart stuff? Do you use a throat doctor for just throat? I guess normally you'd use them for what they went to school for, and what they're good for. But sometimes the simplest answer, it isn't so simple right in front of you, and sometimes the most simplest answer isn't simple to us as much as until you find out what the answer is, and then, wow, that was so simple. But what I learned in the past 3 months is that I've used my people in my life, in my team, for different things. Like, my primary doctor isn't really a primary doctor to me. He just sends me to other doctors that are in other professions to solve my issue. And my last primary doctor didn't want to do that. He wanted to make sure he wanted to solve it on his own. This primary doctor is like, okay, we think it's seizures, or we think it's brain related, we're going to send you a brain doctor, then this and that and that. And my mom doesn't really like him because he doesn't really do a lot of like lung testing and stuff, but they give me that oxygen thing on my finger, and that tests everything. So they don't have to do that stuff anymore. So really, a primary doctor I use for is just to send me to brain doctors, sleep doctors, throat doctors, cancer doctors, somewhere else that he can't do. And I like that my primary doctor doesn't try solving it when he can't really solve it. He sends me somewhere else that can more likely solve it, and they can decide if they can solve it or not. My one dietitian is a dietitian, but I use her as more of a therapist or a life coach, and I use her as, for one dietitian I was going to see, she was saying, I'm a dietitian, that's all I do is food in this category, I don't do anything else. Chloe uses uses it as a dietitian as as basically as what helps me, now helps her in her fashion. And I like that a lot. She's also been a therapist, someone's better therapist than I've had with other therapists, the actual therapists. So, long story short, we need to understand that sometimes the right doctor to solve the problem isn't the right doctor to solve the problem. It just means that we don't have to always use a throat doctor or a cancer doctor or heart doctor or a brain doctor for their specific things. Sometimes a brain problem also is a heart problem, and they go hand in hand. So, like I said, sometimes the easiest answer isn't the easiest answer until you figure out, oh, now we know the answer. That was so simple, but you wouldn't get there unless you solved all these other issues. So run the tests, do whatever the doctors want to do, but make sure you understand that sometimes your heart problems are brain problems, sometimes brain problems are heart problems. So it all comes hand in hand at the end of the day. So that's why we have multiple doctors out there. You have multiple reasons to see multiple doctors, not just one doctor. And sometimes it takes five doctors, five brain doctors to finally figure it out. Because the first one didn't know how to figure it out, so send you another one. Or another specialty brain doctors figured it out. So yeah, so don't always have to think you have to use the specialty doctors or the primary doctors or the dietitians or the therapists for their main purpose. It can all be helped in a different way. Sometimes their experience helps you more than what they went to school for. So we talked about what is mental health. We talked about what we can do to get people to recognize your problem. We've talked about what we can do. Now, the next thing I want to do is talk a little about depression. And we'll get more into this in chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Maybe 7 and 8. Each chapter will have a little something to do with depression, and then we'll also do something that does a little bit to do with mental health stuff, and then we have physical health. So I believe that from my experience, my depression right now is looking at I love writing this book, and I want to write this book so badly, but I don't have time for it. I went to the movies. I went to watch the movies that kind of show me some more of my life. But I also am helping way too many people at once in the last 3 months. I'm not just focusing on work, and not just focusing on home. I'm not just focusing on just day-to-day living. I'm helping way too many people, and it's stressing me out, or it's making it really hard to focus. It's making me really not hard to focus, but it's making it really hard to really go down to the real issue of what's happening to me. And I think we have to all think about what we're all doing as a whole. If we're helping too many people out, or we're helping doing too many things at once in our lives, it gets toll on us. And I don't think it's work, because I worked 60, 70, 80 hours, 90, 100 hours a week, weeks before, and I've never had this problem. But I think I'm helping way too many people. I think I'm helping way too many people, and that is, I can't get that out enough. And I've lied to people before because I told them it's probably because I'm helping way too many people, and that's true. But the main cause, I think, of my depression right now isn't all. Yeah, it's helping a lot of people and helping too many people at once and doing that show on me. But what I also think is my depression is that I want to be there for every single person. Might sound the same as helping everyone out, but if I just help a little people here and there, I'm okay. But when I try to fix every person's problem, every person's thing in the world, and make it better for them and not better for me, that's also tolling me. I also have this thought. I have this thought of like how to make it better for my mom, how to make it better for my dad, how to make my life make sense to everyone. And that's one of the problems is that my eating disorder and my schizophrenia, my bipolar, and all that stuff is okay. But I just want to share this one little smart thing is that we don't need to dwell on our disorders, but we need to figure out a way for people to help me with each disorder and help me with an eating disorder, help me and who can help me with what, or when they see that when I'm having multiple problems in a day and they see that I'm declining, how can I need each person to tell me what they can help me with. I got therapists, I got psychologists, I got more therapists, I got dietitians, I got you name it, I have it. But I don't need people to tell me I need people to tell me what they can do for me. To be totally honest with me. Like, and I need people that start asking me questions during the day. Like, how are you feeling? How are you doing? What can we do today to help you better? What's going on with your life? I have dietitian Chloe that's amazing, but she needs to start asking more questions and not let me dictate the questions or let me dictate the problems and stuff and tell her the problem. She needs to start when I say something. She needs to start asking tons of questions. Tons of questions. Like I just did a whole assessment today on eating disorders, on all eating disorders, and they asked me so many questions, and I could be so truthful to what I need to do. And I think that's where I come in is that I want to tell the whole truth. I want to tell everything, but not enough questions are asked. She finally asked me, what's with calories that you're so bad? Well, it's been a weight loss thing for a long time. I've been talking with calories for a while, and I think she needs to start not letting me dictate the session. She needs to start dictating the session, and she needs to start telling me how to help me and ask me tons of questions about eating disorders and everything she's learned over the past 10 years and ask me questions of every sort of questions you can think of, and I'll answer them the truthful to me. But when I have not enough questions asked to me, I just try to, do a little riddle or do a little thing here and there and just put it all out there. And that's where I need each person to tell me what they can help me with. Truly, be honest with me. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? What can you really take on? Not taking too much on where you're being the same boat as me, but to help me in a way that, like Chloe can ask me all these questions that she's learned over the past years that she can ask me. I could probably be so truthful to her, and she can probably find so much more about me and about my eating disorder, about my health and everything. And also, one quick thing is that if each person tells me what they can help me with and do that, then and ask me how my day is going, and keep asking me, how is your real day going? What do you really feel like? And every couple hours asking me that same thing, I think we'll be in the same. I think I'll be in the same boat as that. Like, you care, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I get that conversation with people, like saying they care about everything and that it will be just fine. So yeah, I think we can do more stuff, and I think I need people to be honest with me also. If they can't solve my issue, or they don't know how to, tell me what they don't know how to solve and how to do my issues, and I'll get my advisors, my therapists, my dietitians explain it in a way that they understand how to help me and what they want to take on, and they can pick in one of those in one of those emails or one of those texts what they can help me with, what they want to take on, what they really want to do. And that's where I think we really need to figure out, when you have people feel like they care and people, keep asking you what your day is, even though you lied to them but keep asking the same question 3 times, you'll get the real answer, not the fake answer. And that's where once they figure out I'm doing horrible, they'll start asking me, how can I help? And that's what they need to understand. Okay, this is my depression video, and I need depression video number 1. And there's going to be 2 other depression videos today. So yeah, this is chapter 1, 3rd subject, 4th paragraph, depression. This is 1st chapter, 3rd part, 4th part, 2nd paragraph, depression part 2. Or kind of the same. I ran out of time in the last video, so. But yeah. So that's really where I come in, is that I have an amazing coworker, Joe, at Subway, and he wants to help me so much, and sometimes he takes on so much for me, even though he doesn't want to. I have an amazing coworker called Wendy at Pick and Save. She's amazing. She wants to take on so much like Joe does. But Joe does more, but Wendy does want to help me too. I got Kimberly, I got Reagan, I got Alice. They all want to help me more than they can. I got a coworker named Jill from Floral that really wants to help me too. I got all these good coworkers, and I got all these good people in my life. In coworker, and I got a sister. I got a couple brothers. I got a mom and dad. I got 2 moms, 2 dads. They all want to help me. I got family. I got friends. Parker, that's always want to help me. I got Zach that tries to help me, and his 8-year-old self. But when everyone comes together and does their part, what they actually want to help me with, not what they really think they need help me with, what they actually want to help me with. If you tell your person what they actually can help you with, they won't get burned out. They won't get burned out at all. They'll just keep helping the same thing over and over again, and they'll keep doing it, and they'll save the day. If they take on too much at once, they'll get burned out, and then eventually they don't want to help you. So, with that being said, I need everyone to tell me what they can help me with. And if they need clarity how to help me with the dietitians and the therapists and everyone, I can do that. And they can get that clarity or that simple thing. That's why I have my dietitian write something up. I also need people to understand one quick thing about depression is that it's different for everyone. But for me, I start spiraling into more feelings, and I take on too much, or I go into sadness when there's nothing we can really do to solve the issue. But yeah, I think I have people that want to take too much on for me and help me so much, but then they get burned out. That happened lots of times at work. So I need you to be honest with me, what you actually want to help me with, not what you think you can help me with. And that's where we come into it. Can't say that enough. And your people will get burned out if they help you with too much at once. But no, I have amazing therapists that ask me all these questions today. I have amazing therapists that help me out immensely. I have amazing dietitians. Chloe is amazing, but she knows so much about eating disorders, but she's not asking the right questions. I need her to ask me every question she can come up with in the eating disorder world and ask me those questions and act like they're a test where there's no right or wrong answer to the question. Just yes or no or those, and I'll answer them all, and then we'll see what we come up with. And she's going to learn a lot more from me when she figures this out. These 2 videos are going to be shared to Chloe on the app, if I can send it through the app. Also, my depression is also getting worse because not only am I taking too much on, not only am I taking too many people's problems on, but I'm not fixing my problems. I'm lying to tons of people about how I really feel and how my day is going and how everything. I'd rather have the question asked me 3 times every time I get asked the question, how am I feeling? But I'm lying. If I say I'm doing fine, I'm usually doing crappy right now. Super crappy. I'm not doing... I need people to start asking me questions. Why is your day being crappy and stuff? If I ever admit that. But not trying to solve the issue, of my crappy day. But just help me out a little bit. I don't know what's coming next in my near future. I just know I have 1 day left before I see the sleep doctor, and I don't know how to solve that. I hope it goes well, and I hope he really wants to help me, and not be someone that thinks they can help me. And then I see the brain doctor in a month, probably a month from now, and he need him to do all physical health, and my therapist will deal with mental health. I got all the mental health providers I need. I just need now physical health people doing physical health stuff. But yeah, I think it does have to do with sleep too. I think it's a big problem. Like I'm probably gonna get like 3 hours of sleep tonight. But the main thing is, this book is gonna be written in a way that when you read this book, it's not gonna be like a easy way to read the book. It's gonna be more me telling how I feel and how to help people in a way that's not originally in a book. We're not doing perfect English. We're not doing perfect stuff. We're just going to write out, I think the book should be written. And that's going to help a lot of people. I think once this book is finished, it's going to be so rewarding. But yeah, I get it. And so one more thing about this depression is that I don't sleep a lot when I'm depressed. I actually do the exact opposite. I sleep less. I also get really sad and snapping at people. I'm hoping that the new dosage will help me. I always think doctors don't get enough dosage for my medicines. I want one more dose higher. But yeah, that's my depression. And I think everyone has a different depression. But I think when people start helping you out and when they think they can help you, when they know you're being down or depressed, they can take it on and get help from your providers and stuff. And everything can go well. And eventually you'll be better once people care. Sometimes you just need people to notice they care when you don't think they care. And that's all. But yeah, I just need my mom to say, I don't know how to solve your eating disorder. I don't know how to solve the only thing I know how to solve is your autism. And I need you to be honest with me. Okay, this is my second video of depression. Now this is my fifth subject in chapter 1, final subject in chapter 1, and chapter 2 starts next after this. The last thing I want to talk about in chapter 1 is that I have so many diagnoses in my lifetime, and I wish someone would take their time, like my psychologist is taking right now, and really figure out what diagnosis I really have. Don't keep putting more diagnoses in my list. Figure out what really fit. I need people to ask me questions. I need people to ask me tons of questions, but burden me with questions in each appointment, and you'll get the answers you need. The more questions you ask me, the better my brain actually wants to ask questions or answer the questions. And sometimes I just tell a little bit about my problems and not actually tell the whole story of my problems, because then I don't know how to get it out. I don't know. I want people to ask me questions and tons of questions and nothing but questions. Every question they ask me, I usually answer, honestly. But if you don't ask me no questions, I don't know how to do that. So, this subject is called Question in Physical and Mental. Ask questions in the world, what people are feeling. If you think it's an important question that you see in the person, ask it. Don't be shy, ask it, and you'll get the answer you need to help the person. You need also, if you have questions you think you want the person to ask you, but you don't know how, have it written down or tell your parents or your loved ones or your family or friends, and they'll come with you to your appointment and they'll tell them the questions to ask and or how to start, what categories and how to start questions, and then they'll get a lot of answers because your brain will want to answer them if And if you hesitate even a little bit while you're not answering the question, then they will talk to you more how to get the answer out for you. But that's how my brain works. More questions, more answers. Less questions and more me talking gets lies, more lies, and not enough truth, and gets part truth but also part lies. If I say calories, I need you to start asking me tons of things about calories. You get the real answer from me. You mean I do think I'm fat. I'll say that right off the bat if you ask me that question. You ask me the question, should come after why you do calories. You think you're fat? Yes, I do. You need to ask me questions about mental health, physical health. Just start asking more questions, get some more answers. And then when you get an answer from that question, you need to ask follow-up questions and more follow-up questions, and you get it. I have amazing Chloe that knows amazing stuff on eating disorders, but she's not asking questions that she's learned over the past 10 years. She's just wanting me to take the session and open up. I don't do that. I never good at that. I never have been good at that. You know what I mean? That's why she's getting almost the full picture in about 30 sessions with me. So, and when she listens to these videos, they're going to be very helpful to her. But yeah. Questions need to be answered, at least for me and most people. Okay, this is the final segment of chapter 1. Chapter 2. First subject, first paragraph. I love watching movies like the next person. And I think movies speak to me. And I think movies, you so speak to me. I think the internet speaks to me. I think music speaks to me. In a way that, sometimes you turn on a video or turn on a movie or TV show or anything, or read a book, listen to a book or anything like that, and you're just like, wow, that's how I'm feeling today. Exactly how I'm feeling in life right now. This is exactly how my story is. How they end the story. And then you figure out that is more related to you than you think, and you start realizing, hey, this is what I should do next, or how to help me and stuff. It's kind of like my therapy. My fourth therapist, he has movies and TV shows. I watched 2 movies today, and they were amazing. What Happens After the Hunt, and then the new Keanu Reeves movie about the angel. After the Hunt was amazing. It almost kind of figured out where I'm going next in life. I watched some of the movie trailers that look like are going to really help me in life. I listened to a lot of music videos and stuff that are going to help me. So what are we doing? What am I saying is that I think sometimes when you click a video or you click a movie or TV show and you watch the first couple episodes or listen to a couple minutes of it or watch the first couple minutes of a movie or listen to the first couple minutes of an audiobook or listen to the first couple minutes of a song, you realize that there's a reason why you click that thing, or the reason why you're watching that civic thing or reading that civic book, because there's a reason why God or the universe told you to read the book or to do the thing, because it'll help you out. You know, it wasn't coincidence that you landed on that video. There's a reason why your brain wanted you to watch that video, or the reason why it came up on your YouTube, watch next, or the next movie that came up when after you watched one movie on Netflix or a show on Netflix, and it gave you a recommendation for another show or a movie. You realize, hey, this is my life. This is pretty close. You know what I mean? So next time you watch a movie, maybe think about why you're watching the movie. Was there a reason for it, or did you just come across it, or did you want to watch the movie? If you just came across it, maybe there's a reason why you did that. And maybe really listen to the video and stuff, and it will help you figure out what to do next. So yeah, a lot of movies speak to me, in either just a couple scenes or a couple of moments or a couple of words, or the whole movie speaks to me, or the whole audiobook, or the whole book, or the whole TV show, or whole music video, the whole song speaks to me, or just little bits. So yeah, I start realizing maybe I should watch more movies like this. Ask just the web, what are movies like this? And then they find out movies like this. Okay, it's the first part of chapter 2. So yeah, I want to figure this out, and maybe there's medicine to do it. Maybe if she's medicine does take them away, there's seizures the entire time. Maybe there's something else that's going on in my brain. I don't think that I'm doing too many things at once. I think part of the days I'm doing too many things at once. But part of me thinks I'm not. I want to figure this out completely. To a T. And you may not believe me at all, I want one question to the world. This is just for my quit team and my dietitian Chloe and my therapist Rachel and my other therapist. So I make good videos, and that's all I'm gonna say for the first opening thing. I make good videos. I need to say one last thing before we fix my problems. And this is also for I'm also making another one for my brain doctor, and also another one for the brain doctor too. So, but this is the one for my mental health team, and then there's one for my physical team. So, mental health team. Here it goes. Sorry, Chloe, for what you're about to hear, but I don't know how else to tell people this. This is for everyone. I'm only making one video, not 3 different videos for 3 different people. But yes, I think I'm fat. I think I not only am I trying to lose weight with the calorie count of 1,000 calories. Some days I eat more calories than others. Sometimes I eat less calories than others. Sometimes I only have like 800 calories in a day. Sometimes I have over 1,000. Today I had over 1,000 calories, way over 1,000. Probably 1,500 today. I eat more when I'm at home than when I'm at work. At work, I don't feel like eating that much. I eat a little bit here and there. That's why I gained probably like 3 pounds on my Monday and Tuesday, and then I lose it all on the rest of the week. I actually don't. I know one of the reasons why I'm trying to lose weight because I think I'm fat, but the other reasons why I'm trying to lose weight is because I want to. I want to. Last time I was at 110 pounds, I had a flat stomach. That's why. I don't like my stomach big. I like it to be completely flat, like completely flat. Second, I do think about suicide a lot, and not because of not because of I figured out, with all the teenagers at Subway, what who would be the most devastated if I commit suicide? And one day I might do it, but not for a long time, Chloe, not for any time in the future unless I'm medically euthanasia medically where I can't where my life is down and depressed and can't, or my life is, to the point where I'm just going to drool all day and have to change my diaper and everything. That's where I am 180% less of a human than I was when I went to the hospital for whatever thousandth time. Or my life is 80% less than it was a year ago. You know what I mean? That's where it comes down to. If I can't work, if I can't do things, can't watch movies, can't spend time with my family the way I want to, can't do appointments like I do now, can't write this book. It comes down to, then yes, I want to die. That's just who I am. And my parents are fine with it. My dad's fine with it. My sister's fine with it. My mom's fine with it. My coworker Joe is kind of fine with it. But in reality, I'm fine with it too. But it'd be Kay and it'd be Sydney. It would be the two teenagers that the only two teenagers I'd leave a note for. The rest I don't really care about because they don't care about me. But sad thing is they would be the two ones that would be devastated. And one might commit suicide after me. So I have to be very careful what I do there. But no. People always ask me, are you ever going to do it? I said, no, not unless my medical life gets to the point where I can't be my life. I can't do what I want to do in life. If I'm going to drool all day and look in a window all day, then yeah, that's not life to me. If I can barely speak like words, that's not life to me. If I have to be changed, I don't care if they have to change my diaper all the time, and that's basically. But if I can't watch movies. That's one of the things. So no, I'm not going to ever commit suicide unless my brain gets too not a brain anymore. That makes sense. But no, I just think about it a lot because I like the subject. I really do like the subject. I like the subject of mental health. And I like the subject of physical health. I like the sad versions of movies. I like the everything. But enough from that. Chloe, this is for you. I need you to help me with one thing. I can't get this out enough for you, but I think you can help me with this one thing. I said you had one thing to help me out last time we spoke, last week. But this is what I actually feel. I can't say this out loud to you because I don't know how. You're going to figure it out before the brain doctor figures it out. Think about that for a second. You're going to figure it out before the brain doctor figures it out. Meaning my blackouts or my seizures or whatever they call it. You're going to put it on the nose before because you're smart. What I need you to do is I need you to work with my brain doctor, with my sleep doctor, with my CRIP team, with my primary doctor, with everyone, and just work with all together on this. And I need you to be the middle. I need you to be the information person. Take all the information in, research some things, figure it out, and give me ideas to go to the doctors and figure it out. You want me to, my eating, yeah, I will get under control eventually, Chloe, but this is priority number one. I think figure out my eating problems while we talk, but also figure out what the seizures and the whatever sleep problems it is. My equipped therapist, equipped dietitian, I think we need you to work on more yes, the eating portion of it all, and trying to figure out, is my eating have to do anything with my seizures and my blackouts? Or is there something else going on? What can you figure it out? What can you do in this? I want to 100% work on my eating with you guys. I want to 100% fix my eating disorder with you guys, but also want you to help me figure out everything that goes along with this seizure thing. Because whatever it is, it's killing me. My psychologist, I need you to figure out if there's disorder or if there's something wrong with that way, or if the suicidal thoughts, the OCD, or the bipolar or something like that is doing something with it, because the medicine that you gave me, the shot form medicine, it's helped me 100%. Helped me 100%. Then my other two therapists, do what you do best and be a therapist. Chapter 2. Work. Now, I have two jobs that are really, really understanding and really, really good at getting things through. I got a manager, Joe. I got a boss. I got an owner named Mark. I got a manager named Kimberly, and I got a lead named Alice, and I got a store manager named Rick, and I guess they're all good to me to an extent. They all know what's going on. They all know pretty much that something's going on. I think Alice figured it out, but we need to do the test first to figure out if it really is seizures. But no, I think when we think about what our jobs are supposed to do for us and what we kind of want our jobs to do for us are two different things. I want my job to do whatever they can to keep my job, keep my job around. I want, if I can't use slicers or if I can't use knives, then I can use those cardboard cutting knives, and I can also package and use the ovens like packaged meat and stuff. You can also use electric slicer probably because that probably just uses that stuff. So and at Subway I can do sandwiches if they cut the bread for me. I can do the prep mostly if they help me cut it. I can do slicers and stuff. I can not slicers. I can use the tomato cutter because it's not really it's a blade, but not really like that. It'd take a lot to cut me if I was playing with it or using it for work. I can do dishes. I can do stuff like that. But I think they all want to work with me, and I think at the end of the day, they have to do what's best for the company, and I get that. And Subway's gonna work with me to the T, but I might have to change my hours at Subway. Pick and Save, probably don't have to change my hours too much, but I won't be able to cut meat for the customers. So that means Kimberly is gonna have to be out on the counter more. So when you think about it, I mean, if your job's willing to go bat for you, if your job's willing to go to the extreme to help you accommodate you for the job, that means they like you. It means they like you a lot. That means they're trying their best. Um, Subway definitely is going to work with me. I know Pick and Save can work with me. Might have to change apartments, or might have to do half deli and half somewhere else. Um, or I might have to go to Goodwill and work at Goodwill. I don't know. We'll find that out. I could probably do maintenance at. So why I'm telling you all this, people, is because your job is willing to go bat for you. If your job is willing to do whatever it takes to keep you around, that means they like you. That means they think you're a good worker. That means they care enough about their employees. If a job's not willing to go to bat with you, not willing to do it, either they're a bad worker or they just can't, or they don't want to because they don't want to help you in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, when they find out I can't use knives and stuff, I will figure that out and I will make another video if that comes to that. But no. I think we're all trying to do our best in the world, and sometimes we have our hands tied with the companies that we work for, and that's fine. But if they're willing to work with you, then let them work with you. If they're not, then there's lots of jobs out there, lots of jobs that most people can do. It doesn't involve knives or doesn't involve sharp objects, like Goodwill or I'm just using examples in my town. Goodwill, there's probably sweeping up hair at a hair salon. There's probably cleaning places like the high school or the middle school or the yeah. So yeah. So if the jobs are willing to help you out, take it. If they're not, then figure out what else you can do in the company or figure out what else you want to do in your life. This is my thing on work. Chapter 2, work. Second chapter fourth subject. Now, I like a lot of TV shows. And I like a lot of movies and such. But I think where we go from here is that I'd love to make a movie on this book and try to figure out where the public's going wrong with the medical stuff. So this part of the chapter, and then we're going to go to chapter 3 next, is about that you got people that care, and you got people that don't care. I have so many disorders, it's not even funny. I have probably 5 or 6 disorders in my lifetime. I probably have a couple more from Rogers or Brave Health, But at the end of the day, if someone's willing to put that aside, someone's willing to put that aside and try to help you the best they can, they're good at their job. They're really good at their job. I have a doctor right now that wants to do medical, wants to figure out medical, and wants to figure out everything medical before he sends me to mental. Because he knows I have a lot of mental work, and I have a lot of mental help, and I have a lot of dietitians, and I have a lot of people but at the end of the day, if they're willing to do that for you, they care a lot. I've had brain doctors that tell me all they can do is test for seizures and migraines, and I have a sleep doctor that's willing to take seizures to another level. I have a sleep doctor that's actually going to record the video. It's actually going to record the video, and they find something on this recording to tell me, hey, it's seizures, or it's this, or it's that. I'm going to release the video in the book to the world and to show what they found in the video and what they showed on this, because I think it'll help doctors and people out there that maybe the tests don't show stuff, but video does. And I think I see a brain doctor in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops. And I heard he's really good too. So I'm hoping that he can look at it and tell me what's doing. I'm doing a sleep study tomorrow. And I think that's going to help me out too. But I went to 3 ERs, I think this year, and I went to like tons of doctors and tons of went to my primary doctor 4 times and stuff. My old primary doctor 4 times. And they didn't do anything about it. The one ER said, because I'm talking and I can move around, I'm not a threat to my medical stuff. So, and all they want to do is mental health there. So I guess what we need to learn from this, if this book ever gets released, is that medical needs to stay with medical and mental needs to stay with mental. I get it that we all want to go the easy way out. We all want to go the 100% the easy way out, and we want to just help the patients little as possible and send it to the next person and have them take over. Yeah, that can work. That can work, but then you're not actually finding. What if it one day someone is sentimental and they find out it is a very serious problem. There's a movie called Brain on Fire that's really good. It's showing that everyone thought it was mental, but it actually was serious physical. So, at the end of the day, if this comes to shove and we figure out I have seizures or they figure out I have something else or don't figure out, or they figure out something from these two tests, I think I'm gonna walk into my doctor's office, my sleep doctor's office, and I'm gonna walk into my brain doctor's office, and I'm gonna walk into my primary doctor's office and say thank you. And really say thank you and say thank you for caring, thank you for doing everything you're supposed to be doing as a doctor. As a doctor. I get it. And I'm probably gonna buy them wine. Probably gonna give the doctor wine. For my dad's collection. He doesn't have a big collection, but he has some wine at home. So yeah, I think that's what we have to think about. You mean medical doctors should be doing medical stuff, and mental doctors should be doing mental stuff. You mean that's why we have the difference between the two. That's why we don't have everyone doing everything. And I get it. It's human nature to go the easy way out. But at the end of the day, why would you want to go the easy way out when you can use your medical stuff to figure it out? You know what I mean? So yeah, I think we're here now and finally get my answers, probably finally get what I want. And the road to get from point A to point C to point B to point D to point F and then point Z will be all documented in this book. And I think when we find out the puzzle to the thing and all the stuff to get there, we will have this. A lot of doctors and a lot of people getting in trouble and a lot of laws being in place to say you got medical has to be solved first. You got to solve everything physical first before you send the mental. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. Is that so this never happens to anyone else. And now we're going to go to chapter 3. And that's going to be probably tomorrow. Figure out if this is mental or if this is physical. Therapist, my autism therapist, and my what do you call it? My trauma therapist. Figure out if this is mental or if this is physical. That's your job. And then also, if this is physical and not mental, how do we get Rachel and my other therapist, you are the one who's going to speak to my mom and to make sure everything works just fine. And then I guess, Rachel, I need you to know we're going to figure this out eventually, what these blackouts or something, whatever we call them, is. But to do that, we need to do a full physical first, and then we're also going to work on mental at the same time. So I think it's between mental and physical. I think it's mental and physical, and I think it's more both together. I think part of it's seizures or part of it's something else, but I think part of it's also trauma seizures or whatever you're gonna call them. I think we're gonna be surprised what they are. But yeah, I think if this does become physical, you're gonna have to hold my mom's hand and have to walk it through it. If it's trauma related, you're gonna have to walk my mom through it and be there for my mom and help her, guide her through this thing. And then one more thing for you, Chloe. Thank you for sticking with me through all the lies and through all the stuff. I don't really lie to you. I just don't know how to say everything to you. And that's where I failed miserably with my whole team. And now I'm trying to be truthful to everyone. And can you promise me one thing? And all I need you to do is say yes or no after you hear what this one thing is. If I'm right, and if you are right, Chloe, you have already figured it out 4 sessions ago. You were going to figure it out. One last thing, you're going to figure it out before the brain doctor figures it out. What I'm trying to say is, you're smart. You are really, 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 really smart as a dietitian. And I never used you as a dietitian, and I think I'm starting to think I needed to use you as a dietitian. And I know you are super smart, and you are gonna help me in so many ways. It's not even funny. We're gonna first start with figuring out my eating disorder with you. You're gonna secondly figure out what else is going on with me. You're gonna help me eat healthier. You're gonna help me eat the way I should be eating, not just trying to, yes, get the calorie count up, but try to help me lose weight too, and the right way. And you're also gonna figure out if you cleanse my body to a point where you get all the bad stuff out of my body. And we do like a shake cleanser, or we do like that. I'm not a green drinker, but I will drink those green shakes if I have to. Yeah, I might lose like 100 pounds, and you're gonna be like, oh no. But anyway, that way you're gonna help me, and also we're gonna help out. We're gonna figure out this seizure thing or blackout thing way before anyone else does. I think I think my brain knows what it is, and it's trying to tell the world. It's trying to tell the world. It's trying to tell everyone. But it's just not there yet. It hasn't got it out there. Maybe we already went through it. But are you willing to help me, whatever this roller coaster ride is? And then, once we figure out what it is, once we figure out what my brain is doing and why it's doing what it's doing, then I need you, Rachel, my trauma therapist, you, Chloe, my eating disorder therapist, my other eating disorder dietitian. I need my psychologist, and I need the brain doctor to all explain to my mom what it is. I have to figure out what it is. And you're not going to explain it to her like a dietitian to a mother, or a therapist to a mother, or a psychologist to a mother. Or a brain doctor to a mother. You're gonna share it to human. That's what I'm saying right now. Human to human. So can we be straight here? I need you to also help me as a human being, not as a dietitian of all this stuff. And therapists, I need you to help me as a human being and figure this out through like not through diagnosis and stuff, but through like true and horrific stuff. I think it's the simple thing that's going to figure this out, not the hard thing. Okay, that's all. And yes, I'm trying to lose weight because of trying to get my body to what do you call it? To a flat stomach. I love flat stomachs. Right now, my stomach feels like it's big and chunky. So yeah, with all your experience, with everyone's experience in putting all their brain power together, 8 brains together, 8 musketeers together, one for all, one for all. Forget the rest of it, but yeah, we'll be able to figure this all out. So we have chapter 3 now starting. What makes a good doctor? What makes a good healthcare? What makes a good doctor in the physical world? Then we'll do mental, and then we'll do therapists, and then we'll do dietitians, and then we'll do like everyone, every type of person in the medical field and mental field, and then that'll be done for chapter 3. So my thing of doctors is that if they're willing to treat you as a patient and treat you as a human being and do testing and make sure it's not physical, before they send you to mental, that's good. If they want to work with mental and physical at the same time and rule out both at the same time, that is good too. But also, if doctors are willing to go the extra mile or say, we're going to figure this out, they're good. We're also figuring out that, I had a doctor, like I said, 5-6 years ago, that all she said she could test for his migraines and seizures. Well, the that doctor was lying to me because there's a lot more you can test for in the brain than just that. But also, I have a doctor now that wants to figure this out, and I have another brain doctor that wants to figure this out. And we're gonna figure out sleep, brain, and everything else, and probably GI is next too. I guess the the main thing is I think a doctor is willing to go the extra mile, willing to do the extra stuff. I think when a doctor just gives up right away and sends you to mental, or you talk about mental and sends you right to mental and doesn't figure out physical, I think that's where it goes wrong. And I think, yeah, I think there's tons of ways you can solve problems. And would you drive on the opposite side of the road if you were driving? No. So mental stays on one side, physical stays on the other side. If they rule out physical, then you move to the next side and go the opposite direction, and you do mental. And then you can do like autism therapy and all this stuff, and then you can do all this other stuff. But if you work with mental and physical at the same time, then you rule out both, and then it's really good. And I think we don't realize what we all do until we don't know how good we have it, or how good doctors are, until we have the bad ones and then we have the good ones. And you see that the good ones are trying to go the extra mile, trying to do everything. Bad ones are just trying to do one thing or another, just trying to go the easy way out. The good ones are trying to solve the problem before they send you to someone else and try to vast every resource they have before they send you to the next doctor, the next thing. You know what I mean? They all play their roles and everything. And that'll be the final part of chapter 3, is that when everyone plays their role and everyone plays what they're willing to do, that is good. That is excellent. That is really good, and that means that everyone's on the same page, everyone's working together, solve the issue, and not just trying to send you one place just because they don't want to do the hard stuff. Now that's chapter 3, part 1. What is a good doctor? What is a good healthcare provider, I should say. Chapter 3, part 2. What makes a good dietitian? Now, I've had 2 so far in my lifetime, and they're both really good. I haven't had a bad dietitian yet, so, well, yes, I have. I had 3. I've had 3. So, yes, I had one bad one, so I could actually do this the right way. So, the one dietitian, I use her as more therapy, I use her as a dietitian, I use her as everything too. And she's really well done. And then I have the other dietitian to Equipped that's really well done too. She figures things out. She's trying to help me out with my eating disorder. She's trying to help me out with everything else. Then you have the one dietitian that says, no, I'm just a dietitian. I don't do any therapy. I don't do anything in my lane. I just do dietitian stuff. And well, then don't, but there's more than just dietitian stuff. There's more than just the dietitian stuff that you can do with food. So yeah, and that's where, a lot of these dietitians are really smart. They know their food stuff. They know their mental health stuff. They know their physical health stuff. And they're good in all that areas. So it's really cool to see what they're all capable of doing. So yeah, but just to have a dietitian say they just do dietitian stuff, not therapy. Dietitian is a form of therapy, kind of, because you're talking about food therapy in most ways. Dieting or helping your body out, not getting diabetes and stuff. So yeah, that's chapter 3, part 2. What's a good dietitian and a bad dietitian? Chapter 3, part 3. What makes a good therapist? Now, I've had 10, 15 therapists in my lifetime. I've had the autism, I've had the bad to the worst, you know. I think a good therapist knows how to help you. Doesn't try to help you. They don't know how to help you. They just really help you. Yeah, and I think I think yeah, and I think I have two therapists right now that three therapists that are really well done. They've done their job. One knows their stuff about everything. One knows their stuff about trauma. One knows their stuff about one knows their stuff about eating and stuff. So it's really cool that they all work together and they all know what they're doing. I mean, I like that these therapists and doesn't know all the answers and they just gonna help me. They're gonna help me, you know what to do next. They're gonna go down the path with me, not trying to solve it, not trying to solve a problem that they don't know how to solve yet. They're just working through all the angles and all the information I give them and help me out. Therapists that knows their boundaries and what they can help you with, what they can't help you with. Therapists. So yeah, that's what a good therapist is. I had a bad therapist once that, was telling me things and explaining things on a college level that I didn't understand half the time and didn't really know how to help me. I had an autism therapist when I was a kid that was really well done, and was amazing. I've had mental hospital therapists that did their job. I've had, most of them did really good. It's chapter 3, part 3. What is a good therapist? So, the next part of chapter 3 is that, and then we're going to chapter 4, is that we actually need to cover two more things about what makes a good doctor. Now, mental hospitals. I have some mental hospitals when I was 11. I had one mental hospital when I was 11 that was really cool because they diagnosed me with schizophrenia, and I think they got it right for a lot of years. And then autism too came kind of next. But they kind of were supposed to send me to Rogers in that same year because I was talking about things that not supposed to release me. But what made them really good is they actually helped me a lot. And then I had when I was 15, when I was 23, 24 years old, went in there for like eating, but they only knew me going in there for depression. The one girl said, at least you gotta eat here. You don't have to eat at home, but at least eat here. I got down to 100 pounds or like 120 pounds. So I was, So yeah, I didn't like that because they released me with really low because they thought working 40 or working 80 hours a week is or more than 40 hours a week was made me good at that. So I didn't like that. Um, then I went to Rogers two 2 months ago, 3 months ago, in August, end of July, early August, till the end of August. They were really good, but they were too focused on what makes a guardianship. What they have to do for my guardian, what they have to say, what they don't have to say. Um, w- the rules and the laws of guardians and patients and stuff. Um, so yeah, I thought they focused more on that than actually helping me. But yeah, I liked, what's her name, Lucy or some Lou or something from Rogers eating disorder wing. I thought she did a great job. I thought she helped me a lot. I thought a couple of other ones helped me a lot. And I thought Rogers did their I know their best they could possibly do, but they could have did better. They could have did a lot better, and they could have actually truly tried to help me. I thought the first hospital I went to when I was 11, they did their best. They did their best what they had to do when I was a kid. Um, I thought the second hospital I went to, they did their not nearly their best at all. They just tried to put a band-aid on my disorders and just, you know, get me out of there. Um, but Rogers and the first hospital I went to were probably the best ones I've ever went to. And they, you know, if I ever have to go back to another one, I'm gonna really pick like a really like do what I liked from both and put it together in like one hospital. You know, I really thought, and now I'm gonna equip that's kind of an eating disorder online hospital thing, and they're the best. They understand me. They know how to help me. They know how to do things. I've got a dietitian. I got a therapist. I got a mentor. They're all amazing. They're all 100% amazing, and they know exactly how to help me and what to do in that sense and everything. And they know 100% what I'm going through and everything. And I think they're the next way we're doing hospitals. I think unless you really need to be like in a hospital where you're harming yourself or others, I think online hospitals are going to be doing like a OCD one and like a depression one. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I have my own one-on-one therapy session with them, and I one-on-one therapy with the dietitian and one with the mentor. I think they do a great job. They do a fantastic job. They are part of that best hospital, online hospital, or best mental hospital, eating disorder hospital, whatever you want to call it, I've ever been to. And I think they are called Equipped, and they're amazing at what they do. And I think if I put together what Equipped does and how Equipped acts around me and how equipped, and those things, plus how the hospital has 11, and then some of the stuff Rogers helped me with like the rec person and stuff, and the art therapy and all that stuff. And I'd probably put a couple things from each the 3 hospitals, the 4, let's see, the 3 hospitals, equipped the one when I was a kid and the Rogers, and put the ones you like the best about them, put it together and go to another hospital. You recreate a hospital thing, you know what I mean? People ask me how this book is released, what makes a good hospital, and I think I already touched that. I think, one that cares, one that really tries to help you and not worry about the laws and the everything about guardians and try to really help me. Yeah. This is the end of chapter 3, and I'm going into chapter 4. I have to think of what chapter 4 is going to be about. I think I have an idea, and I think I might make one video to start chapter 4. But we'll go from there. Have a great night, everyone. Chapter 4. First part of chapter 4. First part of chapter 4, and here it goes. So, I like to talk to how I think about things is I like to problem solve a lot. And I like to, get ideas from everyone. Now, I heard from people today and heard from people, from a lot of people today and over the years, is that I shouldn't tell the whole mental health story. I shouldn't tell the whole story to everyone, you know what I mean? Some people say it's fine, some people say it's not fine. I have people tell me, that's your business not to say the world, but I think it helps people know what I'm going through and stuff. And I made a lot of safety plans already from all the therapists. I've got good, like I said, dietitians, therapists. I got everything I need. We'll see what I can keep with new insurance. But no, when I have an idea or when I have a problem in my life, I like to go to all my coworkers. If I have a test coming up, or all my coworkers, and I ask them the question. I have Wendy, I have Renee, I have Alice, I have Kimberly, I have Reagan, I have Doug, I have a lot of other coworkers. I can't name their names right now because I don't remember them, and a couple of them are kids, and I don't want to bring kids in names in this because I don't know if this they're gonna be 18 when this book is released. But even to the teenagers, to the young adults, to the kids, 10-year-old kids, and the adults and the workers, and everyone has their own opinion. Sometimes I get better advice from teenagers than I do from adults. Sometimes I get more advice from adults than I do teenagers. And I think what we have to realize is, what are we getting out of this? Am I getting help out of it, or am I not getting help out of it? And a lot of times I get help out of it. I really do get help out of the problem. I do get help out of the problem. And I do get advice, and I do get ideas how to fix problems and stuff. And I really want to know, the question to my answer. And I want everyone to answer it, because if I ask 1,000 people, I'm going to get 1,000 answers. And that really helps me out. That really helps me out during the day. And I think, yeah. And I get good advice a lot of times, really good advice. So the question is, and I think talking to people gets things out. Holding things in life gets it pushed down, and then you blow up one day, and that's not healthy either. So just ask yourself, what is healthy in life, mental and physical? And maybe I shouldn't share that I might have seizures. Maybe I shouldn't share that I have a seizure test that was coming up and that already happened. I shouldn't maybe share the sleep studies and stuff, but if they're really going to go and tell someone, they really need to tell someone. Then that's fine. But other than that, they usually keep it to themselves and they usually do their best at that stuff. And it makes it really easy to get the answers. And sometimes I solve problems faster by asking people. And then when I go to the doctor, I have a lot of other advice from other people, and they can help me answer the questions I need to be answered. Maybe I have seizures, maybe I don't, maybe I just have eye problems, maybe something else is happening. I don't know. We won't know until we get the test results. And that's chapter 5 or 6. It's test results and stuff, and part of chapter 6 is test results. So yeah, I think I'm going to finish chapter 4 probably, you know, this week, and then I have chapter 5, chapter 6, and then we'll go. And then one day I should do chapter 6 and do test results, and if there's a lot, what's going to happen next, and we'll keep going back to chapter 6 and do test results, and then maybe we'll do a 2 things. And I'm hoping at the end of this whole ordeal, this whole book thing, I at the last chapter I get to tell the solution to all my problems. The doctors have found the blackouts, schizophrenia, for best medicines that work, everything. So, and that'll be the answer at the end of the book, you know what I mean? What did we find after all this work? So yeah. It's really cool. And yes, Mom, when you're writing this book, please type every word I just said, because I want kind of see the process of writing this book and how it all came together too. This is part 1 of chapter 4. Chapter 4, part 2. We kind of figured out what I have and what's the start of this journey. Demography or whatever. I'll have the real spelling when we write the book. Demography. That's what came back on the test. But it can be caused by so many things, and I don't know what they're gonna do to try to figure that out. But I think we found something at least, and I can tell my boss tomorrow, 2 bosses tomorrow, my coworkers tomorrow. It's really cool to see that we found something. And when I know more about it and know what's causing it and how to fix it and stuff, I think we'll write more about it. But what this part is also about is that I'm figuring out how to not think about my life too much, not trying to worry about my life, not trying to make my life a difference, but try to make it enough where my life is decent, where I believe my life can be. And I had a great conversation with my mom today. I had a great conversation with my therapist today. And the budget and stuff. And I think it's going to be cool the way we're going to do it now. And I think no more worrying that I have 28 streaming services. No more worrying that I have buying expensive gifts for the kids. But that what I can afford is what I can afford, and that's what we're going to do. If I can get the same gift for $100 for $20 on eBay, we're going to go that route. And I think it's really cool to see that. And having great relationships with your parents, even though you're trying your best and you don't know how to do it, getting that best rapport with your parents, stepfather, regular dad, and everything is a great start in your life. Now, if you don't have a good rapport with your family, that's fine. You don't need one, but when it matters most in your life, when you know you're not going to see your family much anymore, when you know your life is crap, or if you know you need help with your family for guidance, it's good to make a rapport for them. You know you don't trust or believe in what they're going to say, but just having them be there for you is something. So remember, you can hate your family all you want, but when it matters most and when it matters in your life and you need them the most, they're going to be there for you. Matter if you like it or not. You mean? So sometimes they're not going to be, sometimes they will be, but if they really, truly love you, they're going to be there for you, even though you turn them down every step of the way. And when they keep popping back up to make your life better or to help you or be there for you, then you know you have a good family. Families that don't show up for their family, even though they push them away, you know that's not good. I saw a good movie the other day. Regretting You, and it's a great movie about affair and a love story and everything. And it just made me awesome of what that is and how that story came about. And there's another movie coming out in March 13th, Remembering Him, something like that. It also reminds me of my life. And so many movies this year reminded me of my life and how I should do better and not control the world and not trying to help everyone else in the world and not trying to do everything, but to do it in a good way. And I think it's a really good way to see that, and I love my life and I love the way I do things before, but I know that sometimes what I think is good in my life is not good because I was working way too much. I was not taking time for myself, and it was putting control on me. I love doing that, but I noticed that when people start telling me when's your free time, I said I don't have free time, and I noticed that was good to say, and it was awesome to say to people and everything, but it was also putting a control on me because I wanted to watch football, and I wanted to watch like the football game when I got home, and all I was doing is sleeping. And I know now that that's not the way to live life, and I'm trying to learn how to do home life balance and work balance, and I'm learning every step of the way. I'm learning too much time off is not good, but enough time off is just good enough. It's just good. And I'm trying to learn what that is and everything, and I think it's really hard to know that. And so the last part of chapter 4 will be next. Final part of chapter 4 is knowing what's taking everyone's opinion in the world, everyone's opinion in your life and trying each part out that you can. Take bits and pieces of the whole thing, of each thing, and try putting it into words and trying to figure out, is that something I want in my life? Is that something I could do? Is that something I could help someone with? Is that something I could, help with? And I know this thing, people are smart. Like the people you trust, the ones you really trust their opinions on is really good to see, because like Wendy at my work, I trust her. I trust her opinion. Alice, Kimberly, Amy, a couple other coworkers too. I trust their opinion. I trust it to a T, and I really like it a lot. But we also have to know when to trust people with our lives and our opinions, and what not to bring in. Trust too many people's opinions, and trust too many people with life and everything, with your control of your life. Then you worry about that, how people think and how people do, and what's good, what's bad. No, you're just taking in what, like my coworkers all tell me, you're working too much, Ryan. You should take some time off for yourself. You're working too much. You're helping too many people out. You need time for yourself. You need to take care of yourself where you can take care of everyone else. I have people tell me that, it's good to have a little free time and not work so much. It's good to have a little time for movies and TV shows. It's good to spend a little money, but not too much money. It's good to live your life the way you want, even though other people don't like the way you live. It's your life. You do what you want to do, but don't do it in a way that's going to hurt you. And there's a lot of other opinions too that I get, but I have people that care about me at work, and I love that. And I told my therapist not to bring them in through 100%. But I like doing that. I like them being on my side. And if one day they do call 911, they do call the 9 number, it would be, maybe it's for the best. I hope that never gets called. I hope I never cut myself or anything like that. But maybe one day it's going to be needed, and that's by them knowing a lot. They can help the paramedics and everything to to know that stuff. But yeah. Who you trust and how you trust it is good. Don't bring in every word they say and everything they tell you. No, just the stuff you really think you need to listen. And in life, you're going to realize, well, life goes on, you're going to realize, wait a minute, if I would have listened to them earlier, I'd been better off. If I would have did this earlier, I'd been better off. You're going to see that. Sometimes people are right, and they know your life, you know you don't want to hear it. Truth hurts sometimes. So knowing what I know now and what I should have listened to a long time ago with my coworkers and my mom, my dad, my family, my friends, my true friends. It's what I know now, what I should have listened to a long time ago. I would have been a lot better, happier person. They say listening to sad stuff also makes you sad. It makes me sad a little bit, but that's my therapy. That's my end goal therapy at the end of the day. Watching sad movies, watching happy movies, watching movies, listening to good story songs and everything. And yeah, it's sad, but a lot of people are right. They know you really well, and the more you bring them in, the more you bring them in with not too much information, the more they're going to help you, and the more they're going to guide you the right way. A lot of coworkers are just life coaches, and they're here to help you. Now, some coworkers are not here to help you, but the ones you trust dearly with your information, the ones that are making sense in your life. Eventually, you're going to find out that they were right. So, don't trust everyone with your information, but trust the ones you trust, as coworkers, family members, friends. And the ones that make sense, the ideas that make sense, try them out. Because I should have tried them out a long time ago. My coworkers told me, and I'd have been a better person than I am right now. So yeah. So not everyone's going to have your best interest to heart, but there's a lot of people that do care about one another and they want to help, even if it's stopping a little bit. Okay, that's the end of chapter 4. Chapter 5 will start next week. 1993 is pretty good. It's right when I was born. Please give me a subscribe to my YouTube channel if you liked. Give me a thumbs up if you liked. And please check out my other reviews. And yeah. I realize now when I work the 16 days in a row, 17 days, 16 days in a row, I realized that I was declining 3 weeks earlier. 3 weeks earlier. Almost a month. 3 weeks earlier, I was declining a little more. And then a month before, I was declining a little bit. And I realized that I thought I could take care of it on my own. And we probably could have did it without going to the hospital. But I think the hospital stay helped me get away from the world for 3 days. 4 days. From Monday night to Saturday afternoon. But when they put me in the mood stabilizer, it actually fixed everything. But I think it also wasn't just the mood stabilizer. I think it was getting away from the world. And I took a few days off from Pick and Save and off of work, off of work. And yeah, and I actually feel a lot better now. They did the heart monitor. That looks like it's normal. The only thing we have left to do is do the is do the is do the what do you call it? The MRI, and see if the nose part is bigger than last time. That's about it. And you know what? The mood stabilizer I'm on anyway is also the anti-seizure medication. So if I think my blackouts are better, then that's probably what it is. It's probably just a seizure. Seizures happening. I think I'm better now. And I've hurt so many people with this problem. I kind of scared my sister. I kind of scared my mom. I scared my dad a little bit. I know now that I should have went to the hospital earlier. I got it taken care of earlier so it didn't get this bad. I scared Wendy. I scared Kimberly. I scared Doug. I scared everyone at my work, and I'm sorry. And I realize that now. And I sent a big text to my helper and apologized to her. I sent a big text to my boss owner at Subway, and he knows now because last time he thought I went to mental hospital for like snapping, and I didn't. This was more like a mental breakdown. You know what I mean? My eating disorder is not under control still. Still not eating again, but everything else is totally fine. So yeah, I think what I learned now is that when I'm in crisis mode or if I'm in really bad moment, and when I texted my psychologist that day, it was also crying for help. I mean, I didn't think she'd want me to go to a mental hospital that day, but yeah, I got the help I needed, and that's all that really matters. And I think the lesson learned is that when people tell me to go to mental hospital, when people tell me, you know what I mean, when everyone around you is telling you to go to mental hospital and you don't listen, it's time to listen. You need mental hospitals are not scary. They're not for anything other than but yeah, I learned my lesson now, and I sorry for the world that I messed up. And the last thing I want to say in this book is that if you have a medical problem or if you have a mental problem, listen to your people around you. If you have a good support system, listen to your support system around you. And get the help you need. This book is going to be on YouTube in about a couple hours. And I hope that people learn from this book. This is the end of the book.